loves, welcome to a new video. I just got a new haul from Atlas Stationers and I couldn't wait to unbox it. I'm really excited. Of course, you already know what it is based off of the title of the video, but I just wanted to go ahead and just include the full little unboxing because there's a couple of other items here that are related to ink and fountain pens, so I figured you guys might enjoy that. So aside from the main event, oh my goodness, that just totally fell out of its box. Okay. It's a little battered, the box, but it's okay. So I did get this Waterman Blue, and I got this specifically to put into my vintage pens and see how they work. So I'm excited to do that, but that will be for another video. The box is a little bit battered, which is unfortunate, but that's fine. And then additional to that, I got a converter for my Lamy. I recently got a new Lamy that I purchased off of Laura from Laura's Chronic Life, and I don't have a converter for it, so I had put the converter for the clear Lamy that I had in it. So now I get to put a new converter into here, and we're good to go. Nice. So now I can ink this one up. It's been a while since I inked this one up, a couple months now. Cool. So that's the next thing. And then the other thing I got were these sticky notes, these Midori sticky notes. I was really intrigued by them, and not gonna lie, I didn't think it was gonna be this big of a block. Like, this is a huge post-it note block. I was expecting to get like a post-it block similar to like other post-its. Okay, that did not cut into it at all. Be careful with blades, people. Do not follow my example. I just don't want to like hurt the actual post-its. Okay. So I'm excited because this is, of course, MD paper, which means that it'll work with my fountain pens. Is it sticky note or is it just memo? It's a memo pad. Okay, it's a memo pad. Cool. It's a big block. Wow, it's huge. Excited about that. So that's the other thing I got. But then this is the main attraction. So I went back and forth on this purchase for quite a little bit, a couple days, and ultimately I decided to go for it. And I will explain why. When I first got this Sailor Pro Gear, which is the hydrangea model, which I purchased off of the stationery writer, I did not have a really good experience. It was very dry, and I thought, hey, why the heck am I gonna get more expensive pens if they behave this way? But then I found someone talk about the tines, and I was able to use a brass shim to open up the tines a little bit, and after that, it has been a dream to write with this. However, it is an MF nib, and I wish to have a thinner nib for this size, for this type of pen. I really like it. This is the Sailor Pro Gear Slim. Particularly because my permanent inks work really well in this pen. And what I would love is to have a pen that I can ink with permanent ink and write in my media journal a little bit thinner, because look at this is what the MF looks like. Now, I recognize that this pen writes a little bit thicker than it would in like regular Tomoe River paper. So, for example, if I get the original Tomoe River paper, and I write with this pen in it, it's definitely not as thick as in the new paper. You kind of see there. However, it is thicker than I would like. I would love a thinner line. And I had considered originally getting just like a Kakuno EF, because that is similar to the width of a Muji .38. But the problem is that the Kakunos, for me at least, don't do very well with Raven, which is the black ink that I use in this one. They do pretty well with the other permanent inks, but not Raven, which is the one I would like, the black ink. And so I went on to Atlas Stationers, and I saw that this particular model was on sale. And I was deciding and debating and the whole thing, and ultimately I decided to get it and see if this would work as being kind of like my dedicated pen for my media journal for next year, for my media log. And it is very different from what I've gotten before, but enough of that. Let's look at the pen together. When I ordered it, I didn't realize that it was more than just the pen. Oh great, it's backwards. Okay, that's nice. Okay, here we go. I totally messed up, but it's fine. So here is the warranty, which is nice. And then let's see, is it in its packaging? Yeah. Oh, I'm so excited to see this in person. I hope that it is not. It's a bright pen, guys. It's a bright pen. Oh my goodness. Okay, here is the little Okay, these are like the instructions. Yeah. So this is apparently the type of pen that comes with. Oh, that's pretty. That comes with ink, because it's supposed to like celebrate this ink line, and so it comes with this color, which is a dual shading color, Sailor Manyo Hinoki. It's like a blue green, which I was really excited about. It's actually one of the reasons why I ended up choosing this pen, because they did have another one, I believe, that I love the little end cap here. They had another one for sale that was of this kind of same line but a different color, and I was not really fond of the ink that it came with. Let me see, I just want to make sure there's nothing else in here. It's my first time ordering a brand new Sailor pen, so I was not aware that this is kind of like the style in which they are sold. Very, very cool. And I completely forgot that it came with an ink, even after I found out from purchasing it, and I was already thinking, okay, what color can I put in here to try it out? But what better color to fill it in with than the one that it came with, right? Okay, so let me just get my writing pad over here. You know what? Let me take this off for... I can do the black. Yeah, that works. Okay, so these are, right now, my two Sailor Pro Gear pens, and I just wanted to show them. These are the Pro Gear Slim. This is the difference here on the little end cap, as you can see. Oh, the band is a little bit different too, I think. Is it? Oh, no, it's the same. So the band says, let's see if we can get you to focus there. The belly band says Japan, Sailor Japan, founded 1911. Sailor Japan. And then it comes with the converter already inside. This is what the nib looks like. And this should be the fine nib. It's like a green and blue situation. And it comes with the converter. Very nice. It's definitely a brighter color than the Pro Gear that I currently have. You can see here the difference in the color. It's more translucent here, which is cool. I do love this one. It's the hydrangea model, and I got it specifically because it reminded me of my mom and Maddie. And I really like this kind of like gradation that happens. And there is a similar thing going on here where you have the green, the bright green, and then a bluish color, bluish tint in the actual body of the pen. Pretty. Oh, that's gorgeous. Okay, I'm really excited. Like the goal is to ink it up with Raven and see how that works. Okay, but since we have an ink, this is what the ink looks like up close. I figured we could also do a little ink swatch. So let's do that. You can do that over here because there's a lot of blues in this area. I still don't have quite the hang of how to do these like new pen day videos. If there's anything specific that you guys like seeing in new pen day videos, I would love it if you could let me know. That way I can further just get a little bit better at the process. Okay, so then again, this is Sailor Manyo dual shading Hinoki. I love the color there. I hope I like the color as much as I think I will. So just like Sakura, which is the only other Sailor Mano color that I've tried, it's a very wet ink, at least from like the swatching situation here. And I'm using a combination of a dip pen, a glass dip pen, and the Pilot Irosutsushi and the fine nib dip pen for the swatching here. So this is Sailor Mano. Already you can see just how dynamic this color is. That's absolutely gorgeous. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and let that dry as I fill up this pen. Of course, it does post. I know some people don't like posting their sailors just because they don't want to mess up with the body, but honestly, I don't think I can really. I mean, I guess I could write with it unposted, but I prefer posting most of my pens. If I could post a Twisby, even I would post it. Okay, since we have this little Midori notepad, why don't we try this out here? So, this once again is the Sailor Mano Hinoki, and it is right off the bat very. It feels dry for sure, scratchy. One of the things I really like about the Sailor and why I ultimately decided that I wanted to get this one was that kind of like feedback that it has that feels like writing with pencil. It's funny because I remember hearing Stephanie over at the Discord mention that, and I remember thinking, yeah, that's right. And then, but I never heard anyone else say it until recently. Someone else mentioned that the feedback that they experienced while writing with Sailor felt like writing with pencil, and I did really love that it's a common thing. Right? That's what the feedback feels like. Very unique. I will say it writes really well, but it does feel a little bit dry. So let me go ahead and get. Let's try this out here. We're in one of my papers in the passport, or the pocket rather. Yeah, that feels a little better. Not as scratchy. And even if it does end up feeling a little bit dry, I can always, once again, I like have no fear anymore of using the brass shims to open up the tines a bit. I've done it a few times. I did it on the Kakuno the other day. So Sailor Pro Gear Slim, and I believe this is the F. Let me just double check. Yep, it is the fine, and I did forget to mention that this is called the Sailor Pro Gear Slim in Grass. It's a special edition pen that comes with the fountain pen ink, and it is in a 14K gold nib. I didn't mention that earlier, but that's the case. So like I mentioned, if it ends up being that I feel it's a little bit too dry, I can always just open up the tines a little bit. Let me compare that to the MF. Yeah, I do think I'm going to open up the tines on this one. and see how that feels. Sailor Pro Gear F. And then I did also want to compare it with my Kakunos. So this is the Pilot Kakuno. That's pretty similar. I mean, obviously the Kakuno is going to be a little bit finer, but it's similar enough. And then this is the medium, Pilot, which I opened up the tines and now it's like super wet. Kakuno medium. And then let's look at the Twisby, which is an extra fine. Also in a Sailor Manyo color right now. Twisby Eco not MF, EF. And then I have the Lamy EF. And I thought about using the Twisby for my dedicated kind of media journal situation. But the thing is that the Twisbys don't do well. My Twisbys at least don't do well with the permanent inks. Okay, so there we can compare both of the Pro Gears, the EF for the Twisby, the EF on the Lamy, medium Kakuno, and fine Kakuno. And you can kind of see there the differences in case you were interested in it. It's sad that because it's a thinner line that you can't see how dynamic the ink is. Like that has green, blue, and purple. Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. I love that. Absolutely gorgeous. Keen to see what that looks like on other papers too, because I have noticed that inks tend to look a little bit darker on this paper than on other papers. So that's interesting. So those are my initial thoughts and reactions. I do think it is a beautiful pen. I'm glad that I don't think the green is super jarring. I was afraid that I would. Another reason why I decided to get the green is because I got the Yuicho Inoue Hobonichi Weeks, and because I want it to be a dedicated pen for my weeks, the pencil board is green. And so I thought that look at that. It's like a perfect match. And because it has a little blue, I feel like that could not have been more perfect. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. So the idea is that this is going to be kind of like the dedicated pen combination with my media journal, and it'll be inked in just black. That's the goal. I will probably ink that up after this video is over just to see how it works. And I will probably open up the tines a little bit on this one just so that there's a little more flow of ink. I don't want to do it too much because I don't want it to get super wet. I do want it to be as thin as possible of a line for the log. But this will be the combination for next year. And I think that I totally nailed it there with the like complementary color of that's a lot of green. Mind you, this is not a green that I would go for normally. It's a very intense green, but you know, because it's a white cover for the most part, I'm okay with it. But yeah, I think that works beautifully. I'm so excited. Oh yeah. So what do you think? Do you think it's a bright color? I do definitely think it's a bright color. Don't get me wrong. But I feel like, you know, every so often having a bright color in your collection is not a bad thing. And I don't really have. I have another green actually. If you want to compare it here before I close out the video, this is the matcha green, and then this is the Sailor Pro Gear and grass. So you can see the matcha is definitely a creamier color, more muted. The grass is definitely bright and electric. So that's just something to keep in mind if you're interested in it. I don't believe I have any other color that I can really compare it to. I don't have any other green pens. But I hope that those kind of comparisons work and help out. I do believe that they're both. I'm not sure if one is rose gold and the other one is gold, or if they're both. I feel like maybe no. I'm not sure. What do you guys think? Is one gold and the other rose gold, or are they both? I should have looked that up. But again, I'm still learning. I'm still trying to get better at these. But I hope that regardless, that was informative, and if not, entertaining. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye!